What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Zamboni. I'm a musician and astrologer, and it is time to talk about the astrology of the week ahead. As always, I thank you so very much for being here. Thank you for rocking with me day after day, week after week. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers who follow me. Happy Mother's Day to you. Shout out to the aunties. Oh man, I would not be here without you. The aunties, I closely associate. There's no Aunties Day, and I think this is a crime. But thank you all for doing the damn thing out here, making sure people like me have survived this long. Super appreciate all y'all. If you want to support the production of this kind of content, then you can go to zambonifunk.com. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff there. I'm doing an astrology course. I'm going to teach you how to do astrology. If you don't know anything about astrology, but you like to hear what I'm talking about here, then this is a good place to start. By the end of this 7-week course, you will be able to read charts for yourself. It's going to be pretty cool. You can also send a tip via Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and other stuff too. Thank you so much for being here. Let's talk about the astrology of the week ahead. This week we have, this looks like a bit of a surprising week, and here's why. It's a lot of Uranus action this week. We get a lot of stuff going on in Taurus. So for one thing, Mercury, for example, is going to move out of Aries and into Taurus, and so this kind of thing looks. Mercury has been a little wild recently. We had that whole retrograde in Aries, and that was like sort of confusing and difficult, and lots of like weird information stuff. And then as Mercury has been moving forward, then we've seen a conjunction to Chiron as well as co-presence with Mars. And so like there's a lot of like war news, you know what I mean? Or like aggressive, like fighting words is one of the things that I always say about Mercury Mars. Now, as Mercury is moving into Taurus, Mercury in Taurus, especially this first little bit of Taurus here, this is like very practical. It's very good at sort of like figuring out what exactly is going on and planning things and working out the details of all the stuff. It's like the nuts and bolts. Mercury is very good for that sort of thing in this place. Furthermore, we've also got Jupiter and Venus here in Taurus, so that this looks again like something that can like be very useful or helpful in some kind of way, especially with the Mercury stuff, but then also the Venus stuff, also the Jupiter stuff, also the Sun stuff. The Sun is here in Taurus, but so all of this is going on here in Taurus, right? There's a lot of focus on the Taurus things, and because Venus is here and Venus rules Taurus, then it looks like things have the possibility of being delicious or pleasurable or helpful, cooperative in some kind of way. Love to see it. Also, the other planet who is here in Taurus is Uranus. So Uranus is the planet of surprises, unexpected things, left field dynamics, things that come out of the blue, all of that sort of stuff. That's Uranus sort of stuff. Uranus is very big on breakups, breakdowns, breakthroughs, break free, break out, all this sort of stuff, like breaking chains, all this kind of thing. Uranus is associated with that sort of stuff. In fact, never mind that. Like Uranus is frequently unexpected, and sometimes the disruption can be difficult to deal with and can be painful or this kind of thing. But to see Uranus here, and Uranus is going to get a conjunction from the Sun. Is this a cazimi? I'm not sure if it's a cazimi or not. Cazimi is it means in the heart of the Sun. It's a Hellenistic term that refers to any time a planet is conjunct to the Sun. This term goes back to a time when people didn't know that Uranus existed. And so I'm not sure if cazimi really speaks to like a Uranus Sun conjunction or Neptune or Pluto. I'm not sure about these things. Usually what I say about a cazimi, this might be a good time for us to like sort of check this out. Get in my comment section, either here on this video or throughout the week on the dailies, and let me know what kinds of things happen to you or that you notice during the Sun Uranus situation. Generally what I say about a cazimi is that it is a moment where there is a special message from the king, right? Because one of the things that goes on here is, so the Sun is so bright that it outshines everything around it. So this is part of the reason why you don't see stars in the daytime, right? Because the Sun is so bright that you just can't see what's going on. Not because the stars aren't there, but because the Sun is too bright, right? And so this is true about any planets that are too close to the Sun as well. So this is a situation that is called combust the Sun. And so the planets that are too close to the sun, they stop being able to do what they do quite so much, and the sun sort of like vacuums up everything, like their strength, and just like sort of like claims it for the like sovereignty of the sun, right? And the planet goes through like a purification process, burning off dross, all this kind of stuff, right? And then during that process, there's a moment of perfect clarity where the sun and this planet are together in the same spot. And in that moment, there is a special message from the king that usually comes out in some kind. So it's like a, you know, we interrupt this broadcast to bring you this message from whatever planet it is, right? And so in this case, it's going to be Uranus, and then a little bit later, we're going to see one from Jupiter also. And so this might be a little bit difficult to sort of parse which one is the Uranus thing and which one is the Jupiter thing. Let's pay a lot of close attention this week. But so what we would expect if Cazimi is works for the outer planets is that there would be some kind of special clarity around something that is surprising or innovative, some kind of new invention, especially around Taurus things, right? So the Taurus things are going to have to do with beauty and harmony and togetherness, especially stuff like food. I would expect like some kind of food innovation or ways that people can, you know, like any of the body stuff, like food or sex or hugs or the things that make your body feel good. That sort of stuff is going to if a Cazimi is a real thing, then for Uranus, then we would expect some kind of like clear message, like, here is the new invention and or the innovative way to think about it, some kind of new somatic is a real good Taurus word, process that gives us new insight into something in some kind of way. And to see both the benefics here as well suggests that it's likely to be something helpful or useful or good for the market economy in some kind of way. Taurus also likes money stuff, wealth, and these kinds of things. So we would expect to see that sort of thing showing up. But then, of course, we're going to see a Jupiter Cazimi in just a second after that, right? So the sun is going to catch up to Jupiter, and those two are going to conjoin here in Taurus as well. So now we're thinking special message from the king and Jupiter. So Jupiter is going to want to bring things that work properly, or wisdom, or especially like transcending conventional wisdom or something like this. This seems like the kind of thing that could go down this week that could be really interesting. I feel like you know, and so that's going to happen, and then Venus is going to come in and conjoin that Uranus, right? So Uranus, I think I said last week that Uranus is on his best behavior, right? Uranus frequently breaks things or corrupts things or like gets rid of things in a kind of way that can be difficult, especially for humans. Humans do not like change very much. We typically cry whenever there's big changes. Even when the changes are good for us, then we typically cry about it. And so this is still possible, right? Like, I don't know about you, but I have a lot of feelings a lot of times, and so there's plenty that we might go through with this, but we might find that some of the nice stuff or some of the changes could be kind of nice and could bring us in a new direction. So this is a really good week to experiment with your recipes in some kind of way. Maybe this is a good time to try to put together 2 flavor palettes that you might have been thinking about for a little while. Give it a little go, see how it works, and try to impress your friends, or maybe your mom. Maybe you're cooking something for your mom today or something like this. Like this could be a good time to get into all of these kinds of things. So this is the primary thing that's going on this week. We've also got a bunch of Mars going on this week. Mars in Aries is getting closer to the North Node, getting closer to the eclipse point. We've just had a bunch of really big eclipses there in Aries, and Mars was conjunct Saturn at that time, so big war-making energy, right? And so then the North Node tends to want to increase things, tends to want to do more of things. So the Mars stuff is going a little too hard this week. So especially if we're looking at like disruptions or things breaking or something like this. This looks like a perfect time to break something. This looks like a really good time to hurt yourself because you're going too hard on something, especially if we're thinking about somatic or body things like Uranus stuff breaking the Taurus stuff in some kind of way. Be very careful with your exercise routine. Doesn't mean don't go out and exercise, but it does mean be careful. Don't hurt yourself by going too hard, which is totally possible. Appreciate